Hey traders, Rick here with Hit and Run Candlesticks. How you doing? Hey, the market's all closed up right now. It's Tuesday, October 7th, 2025, okay? Let's see. Yeah, market's all closed up. So just doing a quick video here. Hang out to the end of the video. I've got 4 shorts I'm looking at, and I've got four longs I'm looking at. So hang out to the end of that video. If you're interested in trading, let's take a look at these, okay? First, be reminded that every morning between 8:30 and about 9 o'clock Eastern time, we are live to all traders. If you can log in through Facebook, you can log in through YouTube, you can log in through X, and of course, all members can log in as well to our real stream that we do. So 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Love to see you there. Okay, let me know you saw the video. Would really appreciate it. So I know it's working. Okay, all right. Let's take a look at the market. And wow, yikes! What a day. Now I have to admit that I was at the doctor the most of the day, so I didn't get to do too much at all. And wow, went up and then right back down here. So we've got ourselves a little shooting star up here, high wick anyway, and then we've got a doji here and a bearish engulf. Well, that's just not good price action. Okay, there's just no getting around that. Nothing we can do to make that any better. All right, so we've got bad price action. Okay, here's the good, if there's good here. We still have price is above the 8 EMA, and the 8 EMA is still above the trend indicator here. So far the trend, that being the trend, is still holding up. But that doesn't mean that we can't, let's see here, there we go. We can't come sliding down a little bit, just like over here, just like right there. So any longs that's on the table, be a little bit careful, because the chances are you're going to get dinged on those longs just a little bit, just a tiny bit. Maybe a little bit more. The key is, can we hold up? That's what we need to do. So if we look at this over here, the same thing happened. Here we started moving down, but there we bounced right off the what we call the trend indicator. It's just a moving average. This happens to be the 17. I know lots and lots of people that use the 20 simple or 21 EMA. It's all in that neighborhood. It's all good. We've just figured out a very creative way with TC2000 how to flip it from red to green depending on where price is. So right now, man, maybe some shorts, maybe some longs on the table, or hey, cash is a position. So don't be afraid to go into cash if the market is getting a little too volatile for you, okay? One of the main keys to trading is don't lose your money. Let's take a look at the 60-minute chart, because that's a chart that I'm going to be looking at to kind of help determine what the market is doing, whether I'm going to be long or short, mostly, or in cash. And if you look right here, we've got this head and shoulders that's kind of, there we go. We've got this head and shoulders that's kind of working right here, and we can look at all that as a head, and there's our shoulder right in here. Okay, so as long as we stay above that 50-period moving average, and that's the blue line right here, then I'm going to go with, look, bulls are still in charge. But if we do start to fail here, like that, below that 50, and then what happens is that puts the dotted deuce and the 200-period moving average in target. So I'm going to put a blue line right here. I'm going to put another blue line right here at the 200-period moving average. Now this is the dotted deuce, what we call a dotted deuce. It's a modified 200-period moving average, and you can see how it just lines right up with that possible price support, and an absolute place where the bulls and bears had a bit of an arm wrestling match right there, and the bears won short term, very short term. All right, let's go back to the daily here. All right, there's the daily. We could see this come back down to the 661.80, 650, we'll call it 8 area. So be a little cautious, okay? Now's the time to be a little cautious in the market. All right, let's go take a look at some charts. I am going to start with the shorts, and let's take a look at Delta, okay? Delta. I think Delta has a good chance of moving back down here to the 200 period moving average and possibly our modified 200 period moving average. We do have a blue ice failure that's setting up right now. We have, let me get an arrow out here. Blue ice failure, we're down. And then we tried to lift up and we failed right here. A simple stop point would be if it started to come back up through that 50 period moving average. So I'd want to look at that as a stop. And right now, any kind of weakness to the downside would be a long entry for me personally. Not saying I'm going to buy it. I'm just putting charts on the watch list and I'm sharing them with you. So watching for that to move down, okay? Another one is AMPL. Take a look at AMPL. I'm going to raise this up a little bit. There we go. I don't know, I could probably do them all that way. There we are. So AMPL, we've got another blue ice failure setting up off the 50 period moving average. We also have a death cross where the 50 period moving average is coming through the 200 right there. We have a 3/8 trap set up and a nice little, what we call a pop out of the box. It's a flag and you can have bullish and bearish, and this is a bearish flag right now. So stop wise, I'm very, very partial to trading with moving averages if you haven't figured that out yet. And the trendicator, the dots, are very, very important to me. So if price was to move back up over those dots and turn them green, that would have to be my stop out area. Entry could have been bought today. Any kind of weakness tomorrow, anything below the T line, I would look at. I tend to buy bearish candles for bearish charts and bullish candles for bullish charts. So if let's see here. So if we started to move up like this, I wouldn't be interested in buying it. On the other hand, if it started to turn around and move down, back down, let's draw it differently. There we go. If it started to move back down, then I would look at that as a short. And I just tend to buy those candles, you know, bullish for bullish charts, bearish for bearish charts. Anyway, target on here, back down to about $8. I see that happening. Take a look at Pinterest. Pinterest. Let me move that down. There we go. Sorry. When you're looking at both longs and shorts, sometimes you have to adjust the chart for it. You can see Pinterest here. We're just moving in a nice downtrend right now. And here we are up at that 50 period moving average, putting in a nice little doji right up here. I'm looking for this to actually fail maybe and move to the downside. I'm not exactly, looking at this to the long side. However, if it did cross back up, say, if it did move back up into this area, I would be a little concerned with that short. But right now, I'm not looking at buying it short. It's going to have to start to fail. So a failure. So if it did do a little follow through, I'm still going to watch for that failure, and then, more than likely we get some sort of a rally up and then back down. So I'm watching Pin for that. Especially for the members with the Hit Run Candlesticks app, make sure you have the app on. All right. ZBRA. Take a look at ZBRA. Failing blue ice failure. Here we rally down, back up. Now we're getting what some people call a red ice failure. And that's fine. We're failing the moving average, all right, a major moving average. We're coming down through the dotted deuce where there's clearly a little bit of price action support maybe there, wannabe, but it didn't work out. And we're setting up in a bearish 3/8 trap above the lowest low in the past 5 days, something I look for. Watching this to move to the downside. And right now I would have to put a line in there, and that might be a little bit, a little bit energetic down in that area. So let's come down and fill that gap up. Let's look for 262, and then we'll reevaluate at that level. There you go. All right. Hey, if you're interested in trading, hang on, stay in tune here. Stay on the charts. Stay in the watching the video. And thank you so much for watching the video, okay? Thank you. Take a look at FIG. Here's a nice looking long chart that I'm looking at. Kind of off the bottom. Not one of my normal type trades. But I can't pass it up. I think it's just a beautiful, beautiful trade. So we've got ourselves a bullish W pattern here, like that, right there. And you see we've broken out, okay? Nice. Now, I'm looking at my trading world up here. That is the top, about that 82 area. And let's see if I can do this. There we go. So right through there, all right? That's what I'm looking at trading. Now, inside that green circle, there's a whole lot of things that can happen. So say somebody is buying this, and it's possible I do that, but not likely with the Road to Wealth account. This would be like on my long-term account, where I buy it, and no matter what, thick or thin, I hold it unless it just absolutely crashes and burns, and then I'll get rid of it. So I'm running out of chart here. But bottom line is for it to move back up to this 82 area. So make sure, if you're going to trade this long term, make sure you put your stop in, you move your stop up with price, and you pay attention to the trend and where the swing lows are. Now, if you're trading this, which is what I'm likely to do with the Road to Wealth account, which is a trading account. So here we are up. Now what I'm going to do is wait for that entry. And then, let's see, there we go, arrow. And then we'll look for that next rally. And then I'm going to take my profits. How did I do that? Let me see here. 1 second. Hold on. Frame. There we are. I'm going to take my profits, and then we'll let it pull back. I'll look to buy it again, and then I'll look for that next entry and the next swing. And it may take 2 or 3, 4 of these swings to get up to 82. But that's what I'll be looking for on 82, or for FIG, F-I-G. Before we look at 3 others, hey, we're entering earnings season. This is rough sometimes. So let's keep track of what is out there on earnings. You may not want to be into an earnings play, and you may forget to check it. So make sure you check it. Take a look at Sophie. Now, I am currently long Sophie. We ran right up to our green bar, our target. That was a slam dunk target area where price is most likely to pull back. Now, I know the market is helping this pull back, but that's right there into resistance. We totally expected that. And so now it's, I'm holding it. I didn't close it. And even if it pulls back a little bit, I just might look at buying more, looking for the next run up into that 30, 50 area up here to retest those highs. The last chart I have, ACHC. I think that's looking pretty darn good here. Very nice rounded bottom breakout, by the way, if somebody wanted to study that. Excellent rounded bottom breakout. I think we've got a nice bottom here. And ultimately, my trading, okay, the way I trade, and ultimately this thing could go to $100, right? But I'm only looking at 38. So my trading world is going to be in that area right there. So from the 50 to that area there, or from the 200 to that area, that 38. So I'll be watching for a price entry. Probably going to be looking, especially the way the market is acting right now, the market will have to straighten up a little bit. We'll have to hold above the T-line there or pull back a little bit, give us a buy signal. Then we'll look at entering that. We'll look at trading that. And then as it swings up, we'll take profits, let it rest. We'll take profits again. And that's how we put money in the Road to Wealth account and double it. So Thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you for hanging out to the end. Please log in and check our social media out. See you here at 8:30 a.m. Eastern if you can, okay? Take care and thank you. Bye-bye.